Hey everybody, welcome to today's feedback uh, session. So let's start with the drawing from Guai. So I think you're making your own comic, so that's really awesome. And this looks great, man. And I hope I have something to add to it. So let's just go over it. And maybe it's also interesting for the other people. So what I really like about is that you have this character that's entering the door. I like that he's at this side and he's looking at this side and he's looking here. So maybe you can add something like this skull head here to add to that ominous effect. Or maybe if you want to have that more subtle, maybe there's this I don't know for sure, but maybe there's a spider here or something. And then you also have this, yeah, I really like these foreground effects. So I think if this is a sword, then maybe show a little bit of this part also here, because it was, yeah, I didn't really see it was a sword actually. So then maybe do something like that. Show a little bit more of it. I really like it. So maybe we can move this character a bit to here. And let's add some perspective. So I guess this is the perspective. I don't know what this is. So maybe if this would be the wall, maybe you can add something like this here. But great work. And then, yeah, I think actually that it's really good to have this skull here. So something like this here. So, and that he, then you see his reaction. Maybe we can go to a really close up because it really is about this emotion. So something like this here. So show a bit more of that. And that, I think that's a nice contrast that this one is a bit bigger than this one here. So we can make it even bigger. So like this. So then there's this contrast between small and big. Yeah, this is really cool. But I really like this, but maybe we can add some perspective here. So there's this perspective here and give this some a little bit space and that you're showing it here, that you're showing a little bit perspective there. So actually maybe make this a little bit smaller like this here, but it's a little bit higher. And then we have this here. So something like this. I think maybe we can even make this smaller yet. So there's, yeah, so there's this contrast. And you can use these objects to aim at the door. So I really like that you have this sword that is aiming at that place. Maybe you can have some other objects, like maybe there's some here. Bit of the perspective is going a bit aiming towards that point, just a little bit. Maybe, so he's looking at this skull and he's seeing this here, this worm here. So something, maybe something like this. Maybe it's this worm or this centipede. Maybe it has one big eye, so something like this. And this hand, maybe this hand is going like this here. But I really like that you see his reaction, and then this close-up for extra. It's great. But what is happening here? I don't see what's happening here also compared to this. So I think this is a great build-up. But yeah, this feels, I don't get it. And it feels a little bit out of place. So maybe try to make this a bit more clear what's happening. But I actually think you could just use this, that he's on this stair. And maybe you can show that he's looking at this stair. And here he's hesitating. And that you see him here walking up. Maybe with a torch or something. And then you can use the shadow of him on the torch. So, something like this. But great work, Guy. Keep it up. This is really cool to make your own comic. So let's look at Xian. So I made this other figure drawing. And let's see. So here is this action line. Just let's see. I'm just going to draw on top of it. So here, maybe there's this. Oh. So here this character is looking at this point. Then there's the skull and here's the neck. Maybe it feels, let's push this here. Like this here. Then we have this arm here. So I think it could be a bit more like this. And then we have this arm that's stretching this way. So he's making a fist. But what if she's doing something like this? Then this hand maybe so like this. So you have more of this feeling. Maybe we can use that with the hair. So something like this. So that you also have this angle here. And we want to have this movement here and this straight up. And here this leg. So here this S shape versus the C shape. I think you did great there. Then this feet. Maybe we can also like this here. Maybe this one. Maybe we can give this feet a little bit here. So this feet is aiming this side, then this feet is aiming that side. But I think it's great. And what I actually think you have this sketch and then draw on top of it with a big brush. And that's the advantage of working digitally, But you can also put a really thin piece of paper on top of it and then draw new lines and try to work on it, or try to draw a new drawing. But I think you did a great job, but really try to think in these flowing lines. Yeah, awesome work, man. So let's go to Pepijn. So this super funny drawing, cool, great work. And I'm just going to draw on top of it. See if I. So let me see, how can I, let's make it just bigger. Let's see if I'll, what happens if I'm just going to draw on top of it. And hopefully that's useful for you, because I think you're already doing really great. Yeah, just let's do this. So we have this. So what I would think, there's this force going here. So I think this should be straight. Like this here. And this is okay. I think that this is going here. So that's awesome. Maybe we can push it a little bit. Let's go full Looney Tunes or Ren and Stimpy style with this. I think that's fun. I actually learned drawing a lot with Ren and Stimpy and Looney Tunes, and later I went more and more into Disney, and I really like that wacky stuff of the Looney Tunes stuff. So here we have this. I think this all looks fine, so I don't want to go too much in depth about that. Maybe you can, yeah, maybe make this a little bit more round. Here, I think this wheel looks great, but I think you can give it a little bit space, or else the wheel can't rotate, right? Because it needs some space there, just as you did here. I really like that you use the snail house. Maybe you can use it a little bit, but that's a nice nice touch. Maybe you can use some perspective here. So let's add some perspective here. For example, I'm not going to draw the whole part, but let's, yeah, think about this perspective so that everything is getting a bit bigger, close to the camera. I think you can totally exaggerate it. For example, here, that you're using something like this. So here, then you also make, here you can also add some, I think that also helps with making it more crazy. Yeah, this, maybe this one could be a bit straight because of the perspective. Just playing around a bit. So we have this. Let's remove this one. I'll take this part. What we can actually do is using a bit of the perspective here. So maybe let's combine this. Make it even a little bit bigger. So something like this. Maybe I'm going too much, but trying to make a point here. Maybe we can even make this bigger. So just playing around and see how crazy we can go. So also make this bigger, maybe with tick, and then there, then here. So here, I really want to see those shape getting pushed. And I think you're using too much of these perfect lines. So I think you can make a line that's more like this. So what I'm trying to do here is giving this arc here. And a lot of times that makes the difference between a generic drawing. And that is, it's not totally like that, but especially if you look at the old Looney Tunes cartoons, Tex Avery and stuff like that, they were masters at this. And the Disney cartoons were maybe a little bit too perfect, but yeah, having these corners and stuff makes the drawing really great. And especially those old Bugs Bunny cartoons had these great stuff. So I'm trying to have those little angles there. And you can choose to push this eye maybe like this here. I actually think that's funny. And then maybe showing that eye like this here. Yeah, I think this could work, but maybe I really like it if you see that this tension is there. So maybe you can add these lines a little bit that you have this effect. And for some reason it feels stretched. Maybe here, so it helps. Got this here. And we can play around a bit with this thing. Yeah. Maybe we have this here. I don't know the anatomy of a snail, but maybe we can do something like this. I really like this wacky stuff. We need more stuff like this actually. So that's, yeah, I think that's cool. Here, and also here these droplets. If this is happening, then it would look more like this. So I think there's some more stuff, but yeah, maybe you can use this perspective and try to push your drawings. And you're doing really great, Pepijn. Awesome work. Let's go to Elena. So this super cute drawing, I really like it. And also like the storytelling in it. So let's see, let me think a bit about. Yeah, I really like this. This looks great. So let's work in a frame actually. Let's picture that this is for a movie. So this is maybe the shot. Then here we have this kid. Make this kid a little bit smaller, so something like this here. Put it on 1/3, maybe here. So there's this perspective. Then we have this characters, maybe a little bit smaller. So here. Then this one is really big in the foreground. So there's perspective, because if it was top view, and here's the camera, then here is the bug, ladybug, and then here is the girl, and here is that caterpillar. So something like this. So this gets bigger and this gets smaller because of perspective. So if you're seeing this from the side, it would be like this. Ladybug, caterpillar, girl, camera. So this close and this is farther away. So this girl is a bit smaller, but this perspective is really great. So maybe we can, I would maybe, I really like this caterpillar here, but let's change that perspective a little bit. So here, also here, this is pointing there, and this one is also pointing to the girl. But then maybe the caterpillar is looking at him. So maybe something like this. So we have this a little bit like this, a little bit like this. I really like that there's all these flowing lines here. So that's nice. Maybe we can use this thing to point there and there. So, and then we can maybe hear some grass. It's pointing at the girl. Maybe here are some bushes. Maybe there's a tree here. And this tree is a bit in a different, in the farther away. Let's erase this a bit and going to draw on top of it. So here we have this character. It's reading. So I think this looks really great. So maybe this part's even in front of the head. So like this here. He's reading this piece of paper. Yeah, I think it's cool that he's standing. He's talking about it standing. Maybe drawing this other leg. So it always works. Just those feet have this other direction. Then here we have this leaf, and it goes to that girl there. Maybe make this leaf a little bit bigger, so that's cut out by the frame here. That's always nice. Let's make this piece of paper like this, and that it points at this girl. So here, maybe we can actually make this really longer. So like this. So that's, this side looks a little bit different than that side. So here, you can also choose to maybe make some hole here. And then here we have this. So this also aims at that side. And I like that this, so you get this eye movement here. When you're drawing these dots here, try to think how they are on this, how are they going along with the shape. Then we have this caterpillar. So looking at this character. I think you did a great job with the design. So again, here this aiming there, and then it's aiming at the girl. And I like that he's holding here this leaf there. So then we have here, and then here this also has this action line here. So that's cool. Yeah, and then here we have the girl. I don't think I have to draw the girl. I think you did really great with this character. Maybe here this feet. So if this is the perspective, that this feet is a bit here. So perspective wise, I think then let's add the color. So here's the horizon line. So here the perspective is a bit like this. Then, so if you draw a feet here and then a feet here, then maybe here some. Here are the bushes. Then here's a tree. in the distance. Maybe in the distance there are some more trees, but then really light, make them not too much detail and stuff. But maybe try to frame this character a bit with those trees. But great work. So basically, think about how can you put it in a frame and create a composition. And that can be really hard, but it can help to learn a bit about perspective, look a lot at movies and how that composition is made. And drawing-wise, I think you did a really great job. Thanks, Elena. Let's go to Stefan. So awesome. I think I've seen this character in some shape or form from you before. And yeah, it looks really awesome. Let's see, what can I say about it? Maybe I can also talk a bit about with lighting. So I think it's really cool if you would add some, maybe make this part a bit lighter or something to get the focus here. So here's this. I think this can be a bit lighter here because we want to have the focus there on the head. And watch out here, this gold color, I wouldn't use that much black, but then I would make it maybe a bit more orange or something for that gold effect. I think I will make some tutorials soon about that. Then here we have this shape. So try to avoid that black in your colors, or the colors get dirty. So here maybe make this a little bit more orange. So you have more of the gold effect. But I think that will be a really cool tutorial. So I'm now finishing up some tutorials about backgrounds, but I will go start on drawing some painting tutorials soon again. Great work. So let's see it for drawing. So I think this head looks really great. The construction and these cool lines. It's really cool. You really have cool style, and just keep working on that. And I really like that construction. I think I see really improvement with that construction. So here, I think, yeah, these parts for me seems to be a bit, because this goes so up, and I think you want to have this flow in your designs more. So because the overall shape of this here, I think this needs to be a bit like this, the overall shape. So that it goes like this feels too much. If you move it like this, it feels more in the flow. The same here. I think if the overall flow from this piece, then maybe it goes a little bit less far extreme, so it stays more connected to each other. The same here. So the basic construction is this, and this is the flow. So this here, this is this here, and then we have this line here going like this. So it's coming behind this. That's also important. It doesn't start here. It's coming from behind this. So that's why it's also important to draw through your shapes. So what I mean with that is that if you have this eye here, you don't start drawing it like this, but you start to draw through it. And then later you erase that line. But that really helps drawing through those shapes. Also here, this feels a bit too forced for that. I think this needs a little bit more space. So maybe here, maybe use a bit of overlap, and here think about this think it would make more sense if you do something like this here. So here we have a small shape, medium, of a big and medium. Do like this, but how is this? Yeah, so here it is, draw through your shapes again. But great work. And here, also here, drawing through, that also means here at these parts. So think, how are these lines going around? Because I have the feeling they're a bit too sharp at those points. Also here, so here drawing, think about how these shapes going around this object. It gives also more, even more construction and solidness. So great work, Stefan and everyone. So, and if you for next week have some work, you can send it to me for review. And thanks, everyone. I hope to see your work again next week. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.